Coming up on UT Today, a poor football record last season has more than just diehard fans in a sour mood. Find out the effects it has had on local Knoxville businesses. Plus, snow and ice hit Knoxville last night, but it could have hit your car even harder. We take a look at how cold weather can hurt your car's mechanics. And spend a day in the life of one Knoxville area TV reporter as we sit down with her to discuss her start in the business and her dreams for the future. Welcome to UT Today. I'm Sammy Kincaid, and thanks for joining us on this cold Wednesday evening. Knoxville has had a long reputation for having abundant natural resources and accessible means for routes and traveling around the nation. It's not quite as large as some of its neighbors, but since the early 1900s, Knoxville has contained rich human talent and resources that should have propelled the city to the top of the Southeast long ago. UT reporter Brittany Nada digs into Knoxville's development since the Civil War and where the city will go from here.
Knoxville is one of the most premier cities in the Southeast. And to better understand the city today, it's important to look at how Knoxville came to be. Following the Civil War and through the 1900s, Knoxville became a place where people came looking for economic opportunity. Some were ex-Northern veterans who were welcome to the city. Others were business people looking to take advantage of the railroad structure and natural resources such as the Tennessee River, lumber, coal, and cheap human labor. Bruce Wheeler, history professor at the University of Tennessee and author of Knoxville, a mountain city in the New South, explains the economic impact of the population growth.
This really built the city. From 1900 to 1905, manufacturing in terms of dollar value in this city doubled. Fastest growth of just about any city in the country.
But the business boom wasn't all positive. Manufacturers wanted to prevent competition from coming into town. There was also resistance to build an interstate system. This reluctance to change forced new industries such as technology, machinery, and chemicals to build in other cities, allowing them to surpass Knoxville as a major regional headquarters.
The railroad virtually collapsed in East Tennessee. And now, if you were a city that was on an interstate highway, you had a chance that you were going to make it. But Knoxville, because of politics, was not able to attract the interstates until much, much later.
When the interstate was eventually built, it passed through downtown and went west, and the business followed, essentially devastating the downtown area.
The department stores that had formed the anchor were either in the process of leaving or they had already left. And then the stores that needed to be near the department stores, they were leaving, and simply sucked the life out of the downtown, which almost collapsed.
Renovations to downtown are bringing new residents and visitors to the area, giving the economy an early spike to a big project. For UT Today, I'm Brittany Nada.
City and county officials and politicians are creating and implementing plans to revive the downtown area in places such as Market Square, Gay Street, and the Old City. Their goals are to bring people back downtown to live, work, and play. Knoxville's weather is another factor many tourists consider before visiting. This morning, East Tennessee woke up to snow and covered cars and extra traffic. UT's campus looked like a ghost town this morning. One of the reasons for the empty campus could be the hazardous roads. Travel is particularly difficult for the students living in apartments off of Cherokee Trail. When the road shuts down, students have to travel on back roads in order to get to campus. This might not be the last of the winter weather, however. There is a chance for more snow forecasted for next week. Knoxville's drastic weather can affect your wallet in more ways than one. Katie Dawson takes a look at how weather changes can affect your car.
Knoxville's drop in temperature has affected much more than outfit choices. UT junior Natalie Clark found out last year just how harsh the effects can be.
All of a sudden, I felt like my car shake really violently, and it started going in all different directions.
Clark's tire blew out last December when she was traveling home for winter break. If she had checked her tires before the trip, she would have known they were in no condition to make the journey to Chattanooga.
It tore up some of the metal
Many drivers do not notice their low air pressure until it's too late. Free Service Tire and Auto Center manager Gary Jellison has seen several customers because of the recent temperatures.
The last 2 days have been probably 20 cars, which is, you can tell, usually 80 degrees to 50 degrees to 32 degrees. That's a huge drop in temperature, and the tires fluctuate tremendously with that.
The fluctuation causes many people to get on the road with low tire pressure, which causes tires to expand irregularly from heat.
The tire elongates, gets larger. If you're running real low air pressure, if you've got 15 pounds in it and it expands to 20, you're really forcing that tire everything you can because it's not inflated properly. That's what causes sidewall, especially high speeds, to come apart from the car.
Although new cars are equipped with tire pressure monitoring systems, it doesn't help people who drive older vehicles.
Really need to be checked. We always recommend at least once a month. Check them once a month.
Auto shops began offering to fill tires up with nitrogen about 4 years ago. Nitrogen prevents the tire from expanding or shrinking. Getting nitrogen in your tires may cost more than regular air, but as Clark says, it's also cheaper than paying for another tire.
I know it was really scary for me, and it was also really expensive. So I think that by checking your tires, just save yourself a little bit of money.
Nitrogen and tire pressure monitoring systems will help decrease blowouts and accidents, but people should continue checking their tires on a regular basis. For TVC, this has been Katie Donaldson.
The average cost for nitrogen ranges from $3 to $10 per tire. The prices are determined by tire size, pressure, and whether the nitrogen is combined with other products. In national news, Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez lost his battle with cancer Tuesday afternoon. He was 58 years old. Chavez was a polarizing political figure in life, and that continues in death. Melissa Rainey tells us the reaction to the late leader's death from his allies and opponents.
It's a new day. It's a new day for sure.
As word of President Hugo Chavez's death spread, some Venezuelans in South Florida celebrated hope for their country.
I'm not happy because he's dead, because I don't think we should celebrate death, but we should celebrate change.
Chavez leaves behind a legacy of funneling Venezuela's oil wealth to help the poor. He was also known to oppress politicians and private media who opposed him. Regional allies like Bolivian President Evo Morales and Ecuadorian President Rafael Correa expressed their solidarity and condolences. The late Venezuelan leader was a vocal critic of the United States, accusing the U.S. of plotting to overthrow him. He also referred to President George W. Bush as the devil in front of the United Nations General Assembly. Despite this, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon remained impartial as he offered his condolences.
As a president of Venezuela, he has been making his own contributions to his own country's development. I'd like to convey my deepest condolence to the families and people and government of Venezuela.
For now, Venezuela's vice president takes the helm. Elections will be held in 30 days in a country deeply divided, mourning the loss of its leader and preparing to choose another. I'm Melissa Rainey reporting.
Chavez will be buried after a state funeral on Friday. The recent decline in attendance at football games doesn't only mean less orange in Neyland Stadium, it means less green around East Tennessee. Paid attendance dropped last season to about 90,000, which is the lowest record number since 1979. Parts of Knoxville's economy relies on those fall Saturdays, and when the numbers on game days are low, Knoxville merchants pay the price. UT Today's Brittany Nada takes a look at how the city has been affected.
Inside Neyland Stadium, football is about Tennessee touchdowns. It's about putting numbers on the scoreboard.
But around town, it's about dollars and cents. And local business people say the economy has taken a hit in recent seasons.
This is the first year that we've actually had a drop in our sales due to the football season.
Ryan Howington, owner of Cool Beans, a bar just off campus and a popular game day hangout, has a front row seat to the decline.
When there's no hope of winning, it seems like people are just not inclined to come down and spend the money to hang out and watch a game.
Fewer wins means fewer drinks ordered at bars. It means fewer burgers ordered at restaurants. From 2000 to 2012, paid attendance has plummeted. At least 17,000 fewer people per game are bringing business to and around campus on game days. Dan Burks, owner of local retail shop Hound Dogs, says team performance directly drives sales.
And we about did our yearly projections in 2 months after we won the national championship. Later on, as Coach Fulmer had his struggles with a few teams, sales went down about 50%.
Retail shops aren't the only businesses to feel the pinch. Paul Jordan, general manager of Hilton Knoxville, says fewer fans at games means fewer people staying in hotels.
40+% of my business tears off of the University of Tennessee in some way, form, or fashion. When the teams begin to go down each year, that just goes, there's less demand. You fill up later, if you fill it all. Rates go down, there's just not the demand.
Now merchants and fans will rely on up-and-coming coach Butch Jones to bring back the business.
We got 30 calls in one day for this t-shirt, so we ordered it, and since then we've reordered it 3 times. So it's done really well. So we're glad Butch is here.
More wins for UT means more business for East Tennessee. And for that reason alone, no one will be pulling harder for Butch Jones than Knoxville merchants. For UT Today, I'm Brittany Nauta.
There's a lot of pressure on Butch Jones to bring business and W's back to Knoxville, but next season's tough schedule may not bring the quick fix. The Vols open their season with 2 non-conference home games and then travel to Oregon to face off against the Ducks. With high hopes for a booming football season to bring more fans to Knoxville, University of Tennessee administrators are also aiming to attract visitors through campus beautification. With the recent efforts to add curb appeal to the university, both commuter and non-commuter student lots, as well as some staff parking, have been changed or eliminated. The construction plans for the new student union aims to add new parking lots and garages to help aid the availability of parking on campus. As a part of the Big Orange Big Ideas rebranding campaign, UT administrators have urged the importance of keeping the campus green and appealing while maintaining accessibility. The location of new parking has been discussed, but nothing has been finalized. You see her living her dream on Channel 10 every night, but how did reporter Jennifer Meckels get her start? Hannah Gordon has a scoop on how Meckels got started in the business and where she hopes to be in the future.
For Jennifer Meckels, becoming a journalist came from a stroke of luck. On a high school trip to New York, Meckels was chosen out of the crowd for a segment on NBC's Today Show. What she expected was a new look, but what she got was a future. After a behind-the-scenes tour of the studio, she was hooked.
To be this guy, and all of them had, journalism degrees, communication degrees. They had gotten into the field and worked their way up, and I'm like, you can go to school for that? That's really cool. And started realizing that I wanted to do something in television.
Since then, Meckels has constantly been on the hunt for the scoop. She went on to study journalism at the University of Missouri, but now calls Knoxville home. As a reporter for WBIR, she makes it her goal to stay up to date on the latest trends as the tech world and the news world continue to merge. But Jennifer doesn't want to be just another reporter. She wants to be a true storyteller, and that is what sets her apart.
It sounds corny, but it's really true. When people have a story to tell and you can tell it, it's so much fun to hear what they have to say about why they feel about something the way they do.
Day to day, story to story. As a journalist, you never know what's coming next.
Gotten to talk to crazy football fans this week. Today I ran all around town talking to different people competing for an ambulance contract. A couple weeks ago I was in the Gulf trying not to blow into the ocean during Hurricane Isaac.
But Meckels says that is what keeps the job interesting.
I have a job where I'm never sitting behind a desk. I have a job where I'm never watching the clock for the purpose of leaving early.
And although living on the deadline can be stressful, for Jennifer Meckels, it's where she thrives.
I'll do it until it kills me.
Jennifer was recently promoted to a weekend anchor position, but still reports during the week. And that's all for us here at UT Today. I'm Sammy Kincaid, and have a good rest of the evening.